Alejandra Alvarado. I'm the president and CEO of San Diego Hunger Coalition, an organization here in San Diego. Most of my background is in politics and government, both sides of the border. But I got to a point where I felt that I needed to make a different impact in the community, and I felt like working for government, I was getting to the point where it wasn't for me anymore. But I still felt like the knowledge that I have about policy and the work that I do. I've done communications and PR most of my career, so I felt like that I could use that to benefit more people. And when I was growing up, I grew up with nutrition security as well. I do remember seeing my mom skipping meals, and at that point, at 7 years old, I didn't realize what was going on until I started growing up, and I realized that my mom was skipping those meals, so we had food. And when I realized that my mom was skipping meals, for me, is that my mom is one of the persons that I love the most in the whole world. And for me, thinking about how difficult it was for her to see sometimes that she wasn't going to have enough food to provide to us, and my dad, he's a hard worker, and it wasn't because he wasn't working, it was because the money wasn't enough for my sister and I. So when I started growing up and I started realizing what my parents went through, I think I wanted to help people who are going through the same things, the parents to know that they are not alone, that if they don't have food on their table for their children, it's not them that failing their families, it's the system who has been failing us, because access to food is a human right. Absolutely. And it's so unfair that people don't have access to that, especially in a state like California, which is one of the largest economies in the world. It's very hard for me to think that there are still people struggling and just counting the pennies to see if they can buy dinner that night.
What's one thing that your organization, I saw you've had some recent statistics that you put out there, that you could kind of share with people?
We're a backbone organization, which means that we provide services to the organizations that serve direct clients. Part of the work that we do research and data analysis to measure nutrition security in San Diego County, but to also measure the health that these organizations are providing to the community. With this information, the organizations that work with them, they use their data so they can be more strategic about how they are allocating their resources, and if someone needs to open a new mobile pantry or open a new distribution route, they can go and see our data and see where the highest need is. The other thing that we do is we provide free training and technical assistance to these organizations who are enrolling clients in programs like SNAP, WIC, all these programs. So we help them to understand how the system works, how they need to fill the forms, and also we escalate cases when sometimes these applications are wrongfully denied. And the other thing is that we also provide advocacy, and we coordinate 30 organizations in San Diego County just for advocacy purposes as well.
Wow. But it seems like there's a large disconnect between people realizing actually how many people need help and are facing food insecurity.
SNAP for college students is one of the most hardest programs to get enrolled with and participate on a program like this. So it's very hard to see that actually 850,000 people in San Diego County right now are struggling with nutrition security. They don't have access to 3 meals a day. So it's very interesting when we see a city like San Diego, but we see this polarity, like people who are struggling every single day to just put food on the table, and then we see people enjoying the summer. And the thing that we always say is 1 in 4 people in San Diego County is nutrition insecure, which means that if we are hanging out with a group of 4 friends, it's very likely that one of us is going to be nutrition insecure, and it's something that we don't talk about. So the work that we do with other organizations is doing outreach and creating awareness. So not only for people to join in the advocacy efforts, also to people who need access to these programs. They know that this program exists because they're probably not going to ask for help because of the stigma that's attached to not having enough. People who have the possibility to donate, like $1, $5. I always say that sometimes we're just giving a little, but we're helping a lot. Even for organizations like food banks and food pantries who receive in-kind donations and they have volunteers, they also have to pay for salaries for the people who are sorting the donations or coordinating the volunteers. So donating $1, $5, $10, whatever is in our hands, and we are available to to share with someone else, let's do it. The other thing is also to keep talking or use your social media to share a post or something, like this new food assistance program is available. We never know who's going to see it and who's going to need it. I think that's one of the two things that I would say, just help creating awareness and making sure that we are always aware that people are struggling in San Diego. Inflation in San Diego is so high, housing prices are so high, people are paying their regular bills on credit cards, the gas prices, buying food with credit cards. And Chula Vista right here is one of the cities in our county. It's the second city with the highest debt per capita. Organizations like San Diego Hunger Coalition, we have information available in 13 different languages. We have a network of partners, 500 partners.
Wow.
So if you need assistance in a language that's not Spanish, because it's not your primary language, you can always reach out to us. And sometimes we have helped a couple of times people from LA. When we are seeing that our food is gonna go bad, or it's really close to go bad, we can donate that and we can post it, and someone can pick it up or just put it outside of your house with a sign that says free. The other thing, going back to donate, the other thing is that when our situations like the one that we just went through, the reconciliation bill, send a letter to your representatives. Let them know, probably they're not going to win this one, but at least they know that the people that they are representing the values of the people, that they know that they are advocating for food access, because that's what the residents and constituents want.
Anything in closing that you'd like to?
Just want to say thank you to you and your team. I think before the interview I was sharing with you that it's because of people like you that are doing what they can, and it might not be a lot or it might be a lot, but you're doing 700 miles, so that's a lot. But the way that you're using it to create awareness, and there's always something additional that we can do, especially when we are in a position where we have education and access to a stable job and all these things. I believe that it's also my responsibility to give back because I'm receiving a lot too. So thank you to you and your team and the people who are going to be supporting your project.
Thank you.